It started with an empty hospital bed, and ended with a secret buried in the woods. In the quiet town of Maple Hollow, Michigan, where everybody knew your name and most folks didn't bother locking their doors, Claire Whitmore's disappearance in the fall of 2023 wasn't just alarming, it was unthinkable. A beloved nurse. A devoted community member. Gone, without a trace. What at first looked like a random act of violence soon unraveled into a complex web of betrayal, obsession, and a chilling twist no one in Maple Hollow saw coming. This is the story of Claire Whitmore, the nurse who vanished, and the devastating truth that surfaced. Claire Whitmore, 34, was the heart of Pine Ridge General Hospital. She'd worked there for nearly a decade and was known not just for her skill, but her kindness. Patients often requested her by name. She was the type to stay after hours to comfort a grieving family or bring soup to an elderly neighbor. Raised in Maple Hollow, Claire was the kind of woman whose life looked nearly perfect from the outside, married to Eli Whitmore, a local mechanic, with a close-knit circle of friends, including Allison Drake, her best friend since high school and head of nursing. But behind Claire's compassionate smile were quiet struggles, a faltering marriage, a secret relationship, and a hidden truth she was about to bring to light. Claire's personal life was more complicated than anyone realized. Her marriage to Eli had been strained for over a year. Friends described him as reserved, others said controlling. There were rumors of late-night fights, bruises explained away as clumsiness, and subtle signs that Claire was preparing to leave. She'd even confided in a coworker about separating. But Eli wasn't the only man in Claire's life. Enter Dr. Matthew Ellis, a charismatic, married surgeon. Claire and Ellis began an affair about 6 months before she disappeared. Their messages, later recovered from Claire's phone, were intense, equal parts passion and anxiety. Claire wanted to come clean. Ellis wanted her to wait. The closer Claire came to making their relationship public, the more strained things became. Then there was Allison Drake. Claire's best friend, her professional mentor, and a woman with secrets of her own. On October 10, 2023, Claire didn't show up for her scheduled night shift. It was completely out of character. She wasn't answering calls or texts. When a nurse drove past her house and found the lights off, alarm bells rang. The next morning, Claire's silver Subaru was found off the side of Route 14. The driver's side door was open. Her phone and purse were still inside. No signs of a struggle. No blood. No Claire. Search parties combed the woods. Drones scanned the tree lines. News spread like wildfire. To the outside world, this looked like a random abduction. But those who knew Claire best felt something was off. Too neat. Too clean. That's when investigators started looking deeper, and everything began to change. The first obvious suspect was Eli, the husband. His story was shaky. He claimed to be home watching TV alone when Claire disappeared. There was no one to verify it. But things got more tangled when police pulled data from Claire's phone. They found texts with Dr. Ellis, revealing an affair. Their final exchange was especially disturbing. "I'm tired of hiding. I'm telling him tomorrow. Please don't do this now. You don't know what you're starting." But while Ellis looked suspicious, there was no evidence he had seen Claire that night. His GPS placed him at home. His wife confirmed he hadn't left. Then came a twist. Investigators discovered a burner phone hidden in Claire's car glove box, registered to no name, but with one contact, me. The messages were obsessive. "You promised we were in this together. You owe me the truth. Don't forget what I know." And then the most chilling one, timestamped just 5 hours before she vanished. "If you ruin this for me, I'll make sure you don't live to regret it." That message was traced to a local IP. The sender? Allison Drake. Allison at first denied everything. She said they'd had an argument over scheduling, but nothing more. She cried during interviews, told the press she just wanted her best friend back. But the more police dug, the less her grief looked genuine. A fellow nurse came forward, Sophie Ramirez, who recalled overhearing a tense confrontation in the staff lounge just 3 days before Claire disappeared. Claire had threatened to report someone. Her target? Allison. What for? Drug diversion. Hospital records later showed propofol, a powerful sedative, had gone missing in small doses over several months. Suspicion now fell heavily on Allison. A search warrant was issued. Inside her home, hidden behind a false panel in her closet, police found several vials of hospital-grade medications, including propofol. They also found Claire's missing ID badge, and most damning of all, Claire's blood-stained scrubs, balled up in a garbage bag. Confronted with the evidence, Allison confessed, but claimed it was a mistake. She hadn't meant to kill Claire, she said. They had met the night Claire disappeared, in Allison's car, parked by Coldwater Creek. Claire had confronted her, said she was reporting her the next day. Allison panicked. She injected Claire with propofol, not to kill her, she insisted, but to calm her down. But the dosage was lethal. Claire went into cardiac arrest within minutes. In a panic, Allison drove her body into the woods and buried her in a shallow grave. She left the car on Route 14 to make it look like a random disappearance. Claire's body was discovered 17 days after her disappearance. Maple Hollow was devastated. Her funeral drew hundreds, patients, co-workers, families she had helped through loss. Pine Ridge General renamed its pediatric wing in her honor. Eli Whitmore left town within a month. Dr. Ellis quietly resigned and relocated out of state, his medical license under review. And Allison Drake, once seen as a paragon of professionalism, was sentenced to 22 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter, obstruction, and tampering with evidence. In the courtroom, she wept as Claire's parents addressed her. "You buried your best friend to protect a lie. But what you really buried was our entire town's trust. In Maple Hollow, evil wasn't supposed to wear scrubs. It wasn't supposed to be someone you'd hugged at church, or worked beside for years." Claire Whitmore's story is a chilling reminder that sometimes, the greatest betrayals come not from enemies, but from those we trust the most. And that even in the quietest places, darkness can take root, and flourish in silence. If you found this story compelling, subscribe for more real-life cases that prove truth really can be stranger, and more haunting, than fiction.